how the cookie crumbles. Hi, I'm so glad that you're all here. And we're going to practice yoga together today and think about what it might be like to rest in community. So just wherever you are, let yourself really land there. If it's a meditative seat or lying on your back, or even if you still are sort of moving around your house getting some things ready, what's the way that you arrive? Like, how do you go into mindfulness? Check it out. Like, what's your doorway that opens from sort of this ordinary consciousness space into there's something really alive happening that I am witnessing and engaging in front of me and inside of me. For me, a lot of the time it is to close the eyes, but it's also sort of this really, every time it's a noticing that my lower half has crunched up towards my upper half, right? And that includes the shoulders sort of lifting up towards the ears. And there's some descending that tells me that I'm arriving. Maybe not all the way there, but that my intention is such. So just feel into the texture and the temperature and the quality and the intensity of that first pull, that first invitation in. And then let that arrival grow. Maybe it feels like a piece of cloth has touched in on a droplet of water, and so it starts right at that corner, and it slowly starts to expand the liquid through the cloth. Just letting all the parts of your body get invited in. And when it feels right to you, breathe in through your nose, feel the crown of your head lengthen up. And breathe out through your mouth. Again, like that, deep breath in. Let it go. One more time, this time from the root of you, the tailbone, all the way up to the crown. Inhale. Exhale, let it go. Maybe palms come together at your belly, at your heart, at your forehead. Just inviting all the parts of you into attention. And if there's a sound or a word or a call that feels right for you to start your practice. Downward facing dog when your body feels ready. And I'm just going to read to you a little bit from the Radiant Sutras. And for the next couple of minutes, just doing your own warming up movement, any movements that feel right. Forward to high plank, lifting a leg, down to tabletop, like really maybe closing the eyes, turning that gaze inward again, and any movements that feel right to arrive. People talk about mind and ego. Let's just drop this whole conversation. Consider instead, there is no mind, there is no ego. There is only the vivid reality of this surprising moment at play, beckoning. The universe is here to reveal unlimited splendor. infinite diversity of expression. No one can withstand her allure. Adore the colors and shapes of her enchantment, and know the one who permeates it all is a great lover. Deeply relating above and below, mortal and immortal, transient and eternal, perceive the terrifying beauty. Be free to suffer and to be thrilled, to tolerate intolerable ravishment. Just as a desire leaps up and you perceive the flash, the sparkle, quit from its play and maintain awareness in that clear and shining place from which all desire springs. Radiant one, inquire. Before desire arises in me, who am I? Before I know anything, who am I? Seek always the intimate joy of your original self and move through this world in freedom. Whenever a wanting moment comes, celebrate the rising of desire as a sparkling impulse of energy vibrating the body into motion. In a flash of knowing, when intelligence arises, attend to this rising as the illumination of the self. Desiring and knowing, knowing and desiring just for a breath. Forget what you want, forget what you know. Receive the real teaching, the essence of earth, air, fire, water, and space. Beloved, reject the reality of everything. Deny the universe of appearance. Say no to the phenomenal world. Reside in a secret place inside. As joy rises in the heart at this sudden freedom, enter there and dwell. The heart of the universe pulses in all hearts. There is one who is the life in all forms. There is one who is joyful in simply existing in all bodies, as all bodies. Explore the life that is the life of your present form. One day you will discover it is not different from the life of the secret one, and your heart will sing triumphant songs of being at home everywhere. So just coming into this feeling of being at home everywhere in the body. The sweetness of an inevitability that you can't not be filled, right? Your breath knows nothing but how to fully fill you. So feel yourself full and supported. And whatever position you've landed in, we're going to land at the top of the mat together. So take as much time as you need. And then finding your way up to a forward fold at the top of the mat when you feel ready. And we've got a little time here, so take your time. Any arm variation, make a little space through your side body. You could grab a block or a cereal box to put under your hands. And letting yourself release forward. Let your head really go. Make a little space, take a halfway lift, lengthen out, and then fold back in. Maybe a little deeper if you're invited there. Then when you're ready, you're going to turn your toes out and heels in and come down to Malasana Yogic Squat. And breathe some length into your lower back. And right hand comes down and forward. Left arm up and back, open through your chest. Spread your fingers wide. Deep inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Step your left foot back. Low lunge. Drop your left knee to the earth. Sweep your arms up. Cactus your elbows if that feels right for your upper back. Spread your fingers wide. Lift from your navel through your sternum here. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, standing splits, hands come down. Take your time, right heel. Toes up towards the sky. Hands can be lifted or hands down to the earth. We're gonna peel the left hip open, reach your left toes up, inhale. And exhale, coil down and in, tap your left knee back behind your right heel. Inhale, stretch it up, let your head go. Exhale, draw it down and in. One more time, inhale, reach up. Exhale, draw down and in. Standing splits, stretch it up. Step your left foot back, warrior one this time. Inhale to sweep your arms up. Soften into the bend in your right knee. Cactus your elbows again. Arms lift up on your inhale. Warrior three. Sweep your arms back. Peel up onto the ball of your back foot and take your time. Chair pose. Deep breath in. Exhale. Inhale, reach all the way up to standing. Forward fold, exhale. Halfway lift, long breath in. Chaturanga, step or hop back. Take your time. Slowly, cobra or upward facing dog. Good, stretch back, downward facing dog. 3 slow breaths. On your next inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward, step or hop up to the top of the mat. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Any arm variation, if you want to interlace at your low back. He was just unabashedly putting his paw in our water. Clearly. Oh, wow. Soft through the sides of your neck here. And when you're ready, let the arms go. Turn your toes out, heels in. Soften down to Malasana, yogic squat. Left hand comes down and forward. Right arm up and back. Big inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Step your right foot back, right knee down to the earth. Low lunge. And if it feels right, cactus your elbows. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, standing splits. Inhale, peel your right hip open. Exhale, coil down and in, internally rotate. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, draw it in. One more time, inhale. Exhale, round around your navel. Standing splits, deep breath in. Right foot steps back, warrior one. Feel your feet root down and then stretch. You can cactus the elbows or hands behind your head here. Big breath in. Exhale, warrior three, hands by your sides. Chair pose. Just like so generous with your breath here. All the way to standing. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Down facing dog. Left leg up and back into the sky. Left knee to left tricep. Inhale, sweep it up and back. Underneath your body to your right tricep. And then thread it through for fallen triangle. You can lift your right arm, you can lift your left foot, whatever feels interesting and curious here. Drop your butt all the way down to the earth. We're going to reach out with the arms. The right arm reaches first, and then the left arm reaches out behind you. Right hand down. Press into your hand. Go ahead. Drop your seat to the earth. Other side. Left arm starts the reach. Reach out and around. Left hand back. Lift your hips up. Right hand down. Hug your left knee in towards your nose. Step your left foot forward. Warrior two. Oh, God, it's hard to stop. Soft jaw. And then what calls to you here? There's all sorts of shapes. Triangle pose, exalted warrior. How do you find your feet here? Wide on the mat and also in relationship with each other as you hug in. Just play around with it. We're all going to meet in half moons. So when your legs tell you that it's time, stepping onto your left foot. Down into a crouch, hands together, knees together. Standing splits. Good. Step your right foot all the way back. High lunge. Inhale, reach your arms up. Hands to your heart. Twist to the left. Hands could stay together. You can open them out wide. Find space in your upper middle back here. Warrior two, when you're ready, unravel. Exalted warrior, lift up. Hands to the earth. Sweep your left leg up and back. Bend your knees, stack your hips. You can flip your dog or keep it right here and breathe. Left leg stretches up and back when you're ready, and left shin forward. Lifted pigeon. Slide your hands back, slide your left shin in, press into the tops of your toes. Maybe your hands are by your sides, maybe they lift up towards your heart or even up towards the sky. Stay lifted for as long as feels good here. Eventually, we're going to fold forward. You might like to scoot your left shin out in front of you a little bit more. Bring it more parallel to the top edge of the mat. You could stay right where you are, or if it feels curious, you could walk your hands in a little bit and play around with reaching back with your right hand for the tops of your right toes. I like to have a block underneath my left bum cheek when I do this, because it's easiest to roll onto that side. But you might play around with hugging your right heel in towards your right glute. Or you could really kick back into that hand and feel it opening in your inner right shoulder as you press back with your right shin. And if you've got a mermaid variation or some other exploration, you can play with it here. When it feels like time, you'll start to bring your hands out in front of you. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, high plank, step back, inhale. Hold or chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing dog. Stretch back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Right leg up and back into the sky. Knee to right tricep. Sweep it up and back. Under the body to the left tricep. Take your time to thread it over to the left. Lift your left arm up. Eventually your tush comes down to the earth. Your legs are wide. Starting with the left arm, reach out and around. You can linger at the center if that feels good. Left hand back behind you. Lift your hips up. And then drop your tush other way. Right arm leads you around. Press into your hand. Lift. Left hand down. Hug your right knee in towards your nose. Step your right foot forward. Warrior two. And just a little bit of time to play here. So you might just close your eyes, hold warrior two. You might play with some different variations, triangle pose or extended side angle. And when you're ready, half moon. Down into a crouch, hands together, knees together. Standing splits. Bend your front knee, stick your left foot all the way back, high lunge. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Hands to heart, inhale. Twist to the right. Your inhale lifts you up, warrior two. Flip your palms, exalted warrior, reach up. Exhale, windmill all the way down. Sweep your right leg up and back. Bend your knees, stack your hips. You could flip your dog. Or breathe right here. Right leg up and back. Shake it out.
I've never farted like that before.
And then we're going forward to half pigeon. A lifted variation maybe. Right shin comes in. Feel a little lift from pubic bone, belly button, sternum, forehead here. And when it feels like time, it'll fold forward. Maybe bring your right shin out a little bit and pressing the outer edge of your foot down towards the earth. This is a really nice time too to have a pillow or a block under your forehead so that your chest isn't having to effort with the shoulders pressing to meet something steady. And when you take it out of the shoulders, how can you sort of send your weight back into the tops of your left toes and into your lower body? And the puff pigeon calls to you. You can start to walk your hands in. Maybe again, snuggling a pillow underneath your right bum cheek this time. If you're hugging that back foot in, just make sure that the left foot is staying on the left side of your mat. It's sort of easy to cross it over midline and strain the knee. Yeah, and you can hug close in towards your glute or press out to find a shoulder opener here. Walking your hands in when you feel like it's time. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, step back to high plank. And exhale all the way down to the earth. Bow pose, bend your knees, reach back. Clasp your ankles or shins, or even just hands by your side, spread your fingers. You could stay on the earth, hug your heels in towards your glutes, lengthen your knees, or at any time you can press back with your shins and let your chest lift. And maybe a little roll forward and back to massage your belly. Rest when it feels right. Another bow pose or locust pose this time. Find center, lengthen your spine, and lifting up. Feel the front of your heart lift up towards the back of your heart. Resting when you're ready. Reach your arms out in front of you. You're going to cross your right arm on top of your left. Palms facing up as you thread your arms. Yeah, and then tuck your toes. Bring your chest forward over your arms so that your upper body can sort of drape over. And it might feel nice to have a block under your forehead here. And then just gently lift up. We're going to switch, threading the left arm above the right. Palms stay facing up. You might have to tuck your toes and move a little farther forward. Just letting your legs and hips be really heavy here. And cross your arms, hands up by your sides for cobra pose. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, stretch back, child's pose. You could stay right here. You could come to stand on your shins for camel or an inversion, dolphin pose, headstand. You might like to move between these three. We'll take a little time here to play. So taking any of those shapes that feels right in your body. Maybe some flow that inhales you open in some way and exhale grounds you. Landing back to sit on your heels, sitting tall. And we'll just move through a little flow together. If you're getting into something good, feel free. On your inhale, sweep your arms out and up. Stand tall on your shins. Arc back. Exhale, cactus your elbows. Inhale, reach your arms up. Body straight up. Exhale, dolphin pose. Forearms come down. Tuck your toes. Lift your hips. Inhale, stretch your right leg up and back into the sky. Exhale, knee to right tricep. Squeeze it in. Come a little forward. Inhale, stretch it up and back. Foot to the floor. Inhale, come forward, forearm plank. Exhale, lift your hips, dolphin pose. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, dolphin pose. Inhale, forward, forearm plank. Exhale, dolphin pose. Left leg up and back, inhale. Knee to your left tricep, shift your weight towards your fingertips. Inhale, stretch it up and back. Foot to the floor. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, sit your tush back towards your heels. Inhale, stand tall on your shins, reach your arms up. Cactus your elbows. Inhale, reach. Exhale, sit back on your heels, hands to your knees. Bow your chin to your chest. When you're ready, come out and forward, forearm plank. Forearms ground to the earth, tuck your toes, lift your knees, lift your tush. Deep breaths along the side of your belly. Inhale, float your right toes up. Knee to right tricep. Hold here. Exhale, step it back. Inhale, lift your left toes up. Knee to left tricep. Inhale here. Exhale, step it back. Right toes up. Inhale. In towards your tricep. Inhale. Step it back. Exhale. Inhale, left toes up. Knee to left tricep. Keep it here. Inhale. Step it back. Walk your feet in, dolphin pose. You can stay right here. You can sit back for child's pose. You can play with Pinchamayurasana if you want to lift your legs. And when you're ready, we're going to meet in puppy dog pose. So eventually you'll bring your knees down like tabletop. You'll walk your hands forward and melt your heart. Either forehead or chin can rest on the earth here. And you can play around with what it's like to really melt all the way versus pressing down into your hands and feeling your arms and shoulders activate a little bit. All the time that you need. You might land on your belly, you might land in child's pose, just a few breaths to reset in whatever way feels good for your body. And we're going to meet in downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Stretch your right leg up and back into the sky. Slowly step your right foot forward, high lunge. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, soften here. Inhale, straighten your front leg, lift up and out of the lunge. Exhale, bend your knee, cactus your elbows. Inhale, straighten, reach. Exhale, cactus and open. One more time, inhale. Exhale, open it out. Stay in the lunge, stretch your arms up, big breath in. Airplane pose. the way up to standing. Uttita Hasta. You can hold your left knee. You can hold your left big toe. You can stretch your leg out in front of you. Or holding the knee, open it out to the side. Just breathe into the webbing of right and left side coming together at your center. Figure 4 is the next shape. So when you're ready, hug it in towards center, cross your ankle over your knee, and sit way back. Let's stretch your arms out. You bring hands to the earth and find a forward fold here. You might even play with coming down into a crouch. Yeah, bending your standing leg and coming down. Left foot can sort of press to the inside of your right leg. Slow, deep breaths. Eventually, we'll rise up to find chair pose. And all the way to standing. Mountain pose, let your eyes close. Palms face forward. Some deep breaths through your body. When you're ready, inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift, deep breath. Chaturanga or step back to downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Stretch your left leg up and back. Step your left foot forward for high lunge. Take your time to lift up. On your inhale, straighten your front leg, lift tall. Exhale, bend your knee into the lunge, cactus your elbows. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, open up. One more time, deep breath in. Exhale. Stay in the lunge, just stretch your arms up, big breath. Airplane pose. All the way up to standing. You could loop your right big toe. You could take your right knee. Left arm can reach out to the left as a counterbalance here, and the right leg might open up to the right. Wherever you're looking, let your eyes soften a little bit. They're steady in the focus, but they're also taking in the wider range. Back in through center. You might keep your eyes right where they are as you find your way to figure 4. And then soften back and in, flexing the right toes in any variation here. If it feels good to let it go and come back in, perfect. Anything that feels right to add or subtract. And eventually foot to the floor all the way up to standing. Take your feet out wide, toes out, heels in. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, Malasana. You could breathe right here. Tailbone up to the crown. You could play with crow pose. Here you are, right where you are. Yeah, make some space for it. Downward facing dog is where we're gonna meet. Take your time. When you're ready, you could fold forward if you're in Malasana. Halfway lift and then slowly step back. Stretch your right leg up and back. Step your right foot outside your right hand. Lizard pose. Drop your back knee to the earth. We're coming down towards your hands, maybe towards your forearms, maybe towards a pillow. And if you like, you could walk your chest over to the left. But the knee and toes on the front foot stay the same. So they're either pointing forward or they're pointing out. Yeah. Maybe if it even feels good to come all the way down onto your left side and kind of rock between the sides. Eventually, we're going to sweep the right arm back. Maybe reaching back for the left foot. Maybe not. Maybe it's just stretching fingertips back. Release your back foot. If you like, you could play with walking the right foot in a little bit. It's still in lizard pose. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, and maybe right shoulder comes behind the right knee. To play with possibly a bind behind the right leg, or maybe half bind as the left arm reaches back. Eventually, we'll bring hands down, sweep the right leg up and back, shake it out. And step your right foot forward for triangle pose. Straighten your right leg. And open through your chest. Left arm might reach past your left ear. Circle your left arm down and around, hands come down to the earth. Drop your back knee, half splits. Or any other exploration here. Pyramid pose, full splits. Whatever your body's calling you into. To breathe into the back of the right leg. 2 more deep breaths wherever you are. And then you can choose what feels good to release. You might hug your front heel in and take a little handstand hop as you step onto the front foot, lift your leg. You might step back to downward facing dog or chaturanga. Just let it feel good in your body. And we'll meet in downward facing dog. Left leg reaches up and back. Extend out through the left heel and step your left foot outside your left hand. Scoot your right toes back, drop your right knee. Coming down to any variation of lizard that feels good. If your back knee feels pressure, double up your mat or put a blanket underneath it so you've got some more support there. And maybe your torso reaches a little over to the right. You bring your torso back through center, lengthen your spine so you can reach out and back with your left arm. Maybe reaching back for that back foot, maybe not. Maybe keep going. You could come back around, tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. If you want to play with left shoulder behind your left knee, stretching the arms out to the side to lift, or maybe reaching around for a bind at your low back. Only if it just feels like so spacious and curious. Eventually your hands will come down, sweep your left leg up and back, shake it out. And step your left foot forward, triangle pose. Create some space in between your ribs here. And let your right arm sweep up, down towards your right hip and around. Internally rotate your back leg, drop your knee to the earth. Half split. And that could take you towards pyramid pose or Hanumanasana splits pose, or anything that opens the back of your left leg. When you're ready, scooping your front heel in, stepping all the way back to downward facing dog. We're going to land in a seat, so you could hop forward or drop your knees and sweep your legs around. Whatever forward fold feels right in your body. Maybe shake it out through your legs. You could take diamond pose, soles of the feet together, legs could extend straight out or even open them wide. Maybe you have a bolster or a pillow that you can really round over here. Whenever you're ready, you can lift up and just take a gentle twist to one side. Let it be initiated by the crown of the head lifting up and heart turning. First, a couple breaths and then switch sides. And we're going to make our way onto our backs. Grab any supports that you need here. If you have a strap, you could grab it, or a towel or something to wrap around your feet. We'll lie all the way onto our backs. Sitting up for maybe one heart opener here, bridge pose, wheel pose, supported bridge with a block or a bolster underneath. And let your attention just kind of wander through your body. Let your breath take you with it. Moving through all the parts and noticing if ones are speaking. Any messages in particular or at a particular volume. And if it feels good, if you're supported by a block, you could stretch one leg or both legs long across the mat. And eventually releasing any block bolster you have behind you, come all the way down onto your back. Bring your feet wide, let your knees fall into touch. And then your choice, you could move towards the shoulder stand series. If you have a strap and you want to come with me in this IT band stretch, you can feel free. Or any other movements that feel right on the back, another heart opener or a happy baby pose. If you've got a strap, you can wrap it around the sole of your foot and hold it in your hand. You can also just wrap a towel around your foot. One leg is going to go long, and the other leg with the strap around it is up towards the sky. Resist out with your heel and pull your toes back in towards you. A little rock of your foot side to side. And then keeping the hips on the earth, you're going to take your right leg across midline just a little bit. Not so much that the lower back pops up off the earth, but just enough so that you can switch the strap into your left hand if you've got your right leg up, or your right hand if you've got your left leg up. And flex your toes back to feel the outer line of your leg. When you're ready, you can bring your foot all the way down into a full twist. So the leg can stay stretched out, or you could bend your knee when it comes down and twisting on your back. Opposite arm reaches up and back as your leg reaches down and forward. And take your time to bend your twisted leg, bring it in towards center, hug your knee in towards your chest. Half happy baby pose. And release that foot. Shake it out on across the mat. And we'll switch sides. Strap around the sole of the opposite foot. If you've been moving through shoulder stand series, plow pose, and then a supported fish pose. Wag your foot a little side to side, stretching the heel straight up towards the sky. Feel your toes flex back as your heel reaches out, so your leg bone is really plugging into your hip socket. And then the hand across from that foot is going to take the strap to bring the foot just across the body. So you can flex your toes back. And breathe into the outer line of your lifted leg. wherever it feels like time. That leg can come all the way across. Scoot your bottom hip back for a twist. Deep, full breaths all the way up the spiral of the body. And take as much time as you need here. When you're ready to roll onto your back, hug that knee in towards your chest and take a half happy baby. We're all going to meet together in full happy baby. So if you've been in supported fish, you can let that block go and make your way onto your back, holding both feet, rocking a little side to side. And then the soles of the feet come together. Interlace your fingers around the outer edges of your feet. And hug your toes towards your nose. Knees open out wide. Little rock side to side. Stay here for as long as feels good. And when you're ready, you're going to release your legs long. Coming right into Shavasana. Any blanket that you like across you or bolster underneath your legs. Just letting yourself land in rest. This is a big part of practice, is knowing when it's complete. And it can be really hard to trust that sometimes. But we honor the fullness of the offering by also knowing that it is enough. And not getting stuck in the forever loop of needing to do more. Maybe there's a big sigh that you can release to invite your body to really relax down into the earth. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Sachitananda Murtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralamaya Tejase Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Sachitananda Murtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralamaya Tejase Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Sachitananda Murtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralamaya Tejase Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Sachitananda Murtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralamaya Tejase. Give yourself a really deep breath in. And an exhale all the way out. You could find your way up to a seat, or you could stay lying on your back if that feels right for you. But making your way into a posture that helps you to mark the closing of this particular part of your practice, the physical asana part, and the opening into the next part of practice, which might look like interacting with your people or nourishing yourself with food or moving intuitively into the evening. And I'll read to you our card for today, which is a really beautiful one that I don't know that we've gotten before. It's the cave. And there are these hands. Oh, wow. Yeah. There's this one hand sort of pointing inside the other hand. And there are these really subtle eyes inside of the darkness, right in this cave with the light at the top. So the cave represents the dark, the portal, the interior. Those who are fortunate enough to find and enter the cave are forever changed. It is a place of potent power, acting both as portal to another realm and a space for sacred ritual and initiation. The cave is a place to return for meaningful retreat where one can see the true self in the darkness. In esoteric teachings, the cave is known to reside in the center of the heart. Within its walls, the whispers of compassion and self-understanding can be heard. Yet because of its mystery and power, many of us fear the cave and never try to find it. We busy ourselves in the bright lights of the city, while the cavernous and dimly lit chamber calls out to us in the night. Where is your cave? You might already know. Return to it and tend the fire. So when this energy is dark in us, we feel withdrawal or isolation or a sense of hiding. But when it's light, we really get in touch with the sacred center within. Yeah. Slowly and steadily, crystals of enormous magnitude grow within the dark confines of caves. Let the cave teach you patience. Yeah. I think this is such a beautiful invitation. It's an invitation to go inward, right? And to find the places, to let the places that we find be really a place of sacredness, right? To find those spaces where we have a little bit of actual containment, there's a spaciousness around containment when it's done right, right? The containment gives us a certain potency of what's inside because it's not everything. So by not being everything, it is marked as something to pay attention to. The same as our practice, right? Like in many ways, we are practicing yoga all day, but there's something important about having the container of this hour and 15 minutes because something gets really potent when we sort of find the outer edges of it. So I think this is really an invitation into actually how boundaries are clarifying our inner work right now. How knowing our edges and our parameters, emotionally, physically, spiritually, really helps us to honor the sacredness of what's happening inside of them. Right? Yeah. So it's an honor to be with you. I'm so